So Henry at the Geek Speak Radio Show at APE 2011. Again, another very cool little project that I found here. Midwestern Cuban Comics here with the creator, artist, writer, does it all. Odin, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Tell everybody about Midwestern Cuban Comics.
Well, with Midwestern Cuban Comics, you know, part of the thing is, you know, I'm Latino, I'm Cuban, I live in the Midwest, but whenever I look in popular culture, all of us Latinos are either in the West or in the East. And I said, what about the Midwest? So I created my own kind of world in this comic where we're following Latinos, mostly living in the Midwest. That's what I wanted to do.
There are some of us out there. I used to live in Green Bay myself, so yes, we are living proof they are. So what is the story behind it?
Well, you know, it came piece by piece. You know, it started with little sketches, little faces that I would draw in my notebooks as a kid, you know, growing up through high school and college, doodling. And I just took some of my favorite ones, a little parrot with a cigar and a dapper hat, and this woman who wore these Wayfarer sunglasses, who was kind of a chola. So I kind of took those little sketches and I said, you know, what would be the story behind these people? If they were together, how would their story be? And I worked on it and I fleshed it out, and it became the adventure of Pito and Maria, Pito being the bird and Maria being the woman.
And this is your first comic, first anything?
Yes, first everything. So,
what pushed you to finally get it out there? Because I know you've probably been thinking about this for a while, but what pushed you to finally make it a reality?
You know, working on many different art projects, because I come from an actual art school, and my real background is in fine arts and drawing. And I was just in a rut looking for work, looking for any kind of work I could find. And I just had all this free time. I had all these ideas, all these stories. And I just said, you know what, if I'm going to do something, now's the time to do it with it. So I just kind of went for it full force.
And where can we find the comics?
Well, as of right now, I'm getting a website up, www.mccomics.jimdoe.com. But you can also email me and get the comics at odinmachine@att.net. But right now, you just you can get them here at APE, and I'm trying hard to get them into stores. So hopefully they'll be in your local comic book store at some point.
And Odin is O-D-I-N?
Yes, O-D-I-N.
Odin Machine at
att.net.
So pretty soon we'll get a website. It'll be all easy right there for you. So let me ask you this. Like I said, this is your first everything. A lot of people have an idea for whatever it is, a story, a book, or whatever it is. What kind of advice would you give them to put them where you are right now, where it's actually here?
You know, the big thing is you need to have a plan of action. Because if you go in without any plan at all, you know, it makes it much harder. I went in, and in my mindset, in the back of my mind, I kind of said, well, you know, you need to have a plan. So I looked at my favorite artists, and I said, well, how did they break in? What did they do? And I researched them, and I looked at the way they did things, and I kind of used that as a template for myself. And I think when you do that, it gives you a structure so that you're not just going about things in a chaos. Because when that happens, you can find yourself halfway through a story, not knowing where to go next, not knowing how to make a panel structure that works, or just even not knowing where to go for printing or to get your comic printed out. You know, because there's that art background, and as an artist and writer, we say, oh, I can do that. But then you don't think about the business background, finding cheap printing, how do you market it, putting the website together, all of that, because it's all part of it.
Who were some of those artists that inspired you?
Oh, most definitely Los Bros Hernandez. Love and Rockets has always been a favorite of mine, but I'm also a huge fan of Charles Schultz and Will Eisner, and also Frank Miller. He's kind of zany, but he's a character, definitely.
So you can add Odin hopefully soon to that list right there. And again, Midwestern Cuban Comics. Again, another thing you heard first on Geek Speak Radio Show at APE 2011.